On April 26, 2025, the world gathered in the heart of Vatican City to say its final goodbye to Pope Francis, one of the most transformative figures in modern Catholicism. The funeral took place in St. Peter's Basilica, where leaders from all corners of the world and faithful from all walks of life came together to pay their respects. Pope Francis's death marked the end of an era, leaving behind a legacy that has deeply impacted not only the Catholic Church, but also the wider world. Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, Argentina, made history when he was elected as the first Latin American pope in 2013. His papacy was a breath of fresh air, bringing with it a focus on humility, service, and compassion. His leadership broke from many traditional aspects of the papacy, showing that the Church could be both a spiritual and compassionate force for social justice and environmental protection. His teachings were never confined to the pulpit, as he consistently reached out to the marginalized and disenfranchised of society. The funeral service was led by Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, a man who has served in the Roman Curia for over 50 years and was a trusted figure in the Vatican. At 91, Cardinal Re brought a sense of continuity and reverence, standing as a symbol of the Church's long tradition, but also as a witness to the radical changes Pope Francis had introduced. The ceremony was held in multiple languages, a reflection of Pope Francis's global appeal and the international nature of his papacy. The funeral was not just a local event for the Vatican, but a global occasion. Dignitaries from around the world traveled to Rome to pay their respects. Among the attendees were former U.S. Presidents Donald Trump and Joe Biden, French President Emmanuel Macron, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and Prince William, who represented the British monarchy. Their presence underscored the immense respect Pope Francis had earned not only within the Church but also on the world stage, where his calls for peace, social justice, and environmental awareness resonated deeply. Crowds filled St. Peter's Square, with estimates suggesting more than 250,000 people were present to witness the final ceremony. Security was tight, with over 2,500 police officers and 1,500 soldiers deployed to ensure the safety of the mourners and the dignitaries. A no-fly zone was put in place and snipers were stationed on rooftops, a testament to the significance of the event. Despite the solemnity of the occasion, the overwhelming presence of the people was a clear sign of the profound impact Pope Francis had on both the Church and the world. In an unexpected move, Pope Francis chose to be buried not under St. Peter's Basilica, where many of his predecessors rest, but instead at the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore. This decision reflected his simple and humble lifestyle, which had always focused on service to others rather than seeking honor or prestige. His modest wooden casket, inscribed with only the name Franciscus, symbolized the values that defined his life: humility, simplicity, and selflessness. It was a fitting tribute to a pope who spent his life challenging others to live in the service of others. The funeral also marked the beginning of the Novendiales, a period of 9 days of mourning during which masses are celebrated to honor Pope Francis's memory. This time of reflection will help prepare the Church for the process of selecting a new pope. As the College of Cardinals prepares to meet in the coming days, the world will look on to see who will succeed Pope Francis and carry forward his mission of inclusivity, compassion, and reform. The passing of Pope Francis elicited messages of condolence and admiration from religious leaders and figures across the globe. The Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Ahmed El-Tayeb, spoke of his deep respect for Pope Francis, calling him a brother in humanity, and praising his efforts to bridge divides between faiths. Similarly, the Aga Khan honored the Pope's stance on compassion and service to others, recognizing his efforts to make the world a better place for the marginalized. Though the funeral was somber, it also served as a celebration of Pope Francis's life and his transformative influence. One of the most touching moments of the ceremony came when Sister Geneviève Janengros, a longtime friend of Pope Francis, broke with tradition to approach his casket. With tears in her eyes, she spoke of her profound loss, remembering Pope Francis as a brother, a pope, and a friend. Her words echoed the feelings of many who had known him personally or had been touched by his work. The world mourns the loss of a leader who challenged the status quo, fought for the poor and the marginalized, and advocated for the protection of the environment.